Steering wheel holder or a professional driver? Which one am I? And which one are you? Why does it matter? I accidentally started some controversy on Instagram and on my personal Facebook page recently with this video talking about courtesy and how trucks sometimes block cars and other trucks. I'll leave a link in the description below and you can decide who's right and who's wrong. I'm not sure how long you've been driving or where you are on the journey to become a professional truck driver, but let's find out what actual truckers think. I drive for AT Transportation, and maybe they'd be good for you too. At least call them and find out what they can offer you based on where you live and how the total package compares to what you've got now. Make sure you let them know that you saw me, Rob, talking about AT on YouTube. Let's go see who's out there. We are here with Terry, everybody. Thanks, Terry, for spending a little time with us.
No problem.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So let's get right to it. We're talking about going from being a brand new driver to being a professional. What does it take? What do you see out there that drivers are not doing right?
For one, they don't pay attention what lane to be in. You're supposed to be in the right-hand lane, and they get in the middle lane, and they're poking, not paying attention, holding up with traffic.
Okay. Guys, say hello to Alvin. Alvin, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
I'm going to get to the deeper questions on this episode. How'd you get started in trucking? Who told you about it? How old were you?
When we used to travel, Dad and everything, coming back to Tennessee and stuff, I always wanted to drive a truck. I always liked trucks.
I feel the same way. My brother and I used to watch logging trucks go from Northern California to Oregon.
Yeah.
Back and forth, we'd run out, try to get them to
yeah.
pump their arms. How'd you get started?
My family.
Really?
My whole family's been truck drivers.
Is that right?
Yep.
Dad, grandpa?
My dad, my grandparents on my dad's side, my uncles on my mom's side.
Any of the ladies?
Yeah, I got a couple aunts that own companies.
Oh, yeah, all right. Good for them. So how does a driver go from brand new, being a steering wheel holder, trying to figure it all out, until they're a professional? How long do you think it takes?
The biggest problem, steering wheel holders, your truck that's got all these buzzards and everything on it, it basically drives itself. The only thing you do is hold that steering wheel.
I see.
And it does everything else.
How can you tell out on the highway who is a new driver and who's a pro?
The way they like to ride the left lane too much and the middle. And their companies, they tell them to do that.
Really?
Yeah. I've asked them.
They tell them to do that?
They tell them to ride the middle lane.
Wow. Why? What does that accomplish?
They said it keeps them, the accidents down.
So if somebody's trying to make a move and pass you, and they're a little faster than you, what should you do?
Slow down and stay to the right. So I was in New Mexico just last month, and they had an ice storm. And this new driver come flying down the road. Instead of paying attention to the ice and snow, he's still punching it.
Really?
And he did a slide, fishtail, tipped it on the side, and took the whole road out. So he wasn't paying attention to the weather and paying attention to his driving, and instead of staying in the right-hand lane and staying slow, he thought he'd go faster and try to beat traffic, which it didn't do him no good.
See, they talk about that kind of stuff in school and on the road tests and all that. Yeah. What else do you think new drivers need to learn to become professional drivers?
They need more respect for other drivers.
Okay. How do you show that?
I know there's a lot of these new people, they don't teach them respect, they don't teach them how to back up.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of them get out here and they struggle real bad about backing up and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like coming down off ramps and stuff like that, getting over for other vehicles.
It seems like there's only a few things that are part of the training.
Yes.
And then the rest of it, they say, hey, if it's not on the test, we're not going to tell you about
right.
it. And you just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, if there's a truck broke down beside the road, you know, letting somebody over in the middle or something other so they won't be so close to the other trucks.
That's good. That's really good. Everybody I talk to, truck drivers and motorists, want traffic to flow better and for there to be fewer accidents. If you're a truck driver, where are you in this process of becoming a professional? How many years have you been driving? How many miles? And what do you think makes a truck driver a pro? Let us know in the comments section below. Is it skill, reflexes, reps, knowledge, being considerate of other truck drivers and motorists? Now, it's true that four-wheelers don't always know how to navigate around our rigs, but the car drivers on the interstate, they're the people who invent and design, manufacture, warehouse, and sell the goods that we transport in our trucks. Plus, they buy the goods that we transport. Without them, we don't have a job. We need those car drivers, and they need us. So we've got to talk about this and try to help the younger, less experienced truck drivers to learn what the older guys and lady truckers already know. And tell me about your family. You said you have a daughter?
I got a daughter.
How old is she?
She'd be 22.
Wow, all right. Does she live nearby here in Tennessee?
Kingsport, Tennessee.
Okay, good. So you get to see her?
Yeah.
Good. Does she have any kids of her own?
No.
Okay.
No, she's a CNA and doing college for a nurse practitioner.
Good for her. She's got some ambition.
Yeah.
What about your family situation? You got a wife, kids?
I'm divorced. I got a daughter that's 26. I got 3 grandkids.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the grandkids into? They do sports, academics?
The oldest is 8. He does a lot of football.
Good for him.
And then the youngest are too young still.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's great. So what advice do you have for new drivers who are struggling with some of the basics?
Take your time.
Okay.
And quit being in such of a hurry.
I see. Is it just repetition? If somebody's having a hard time putting it straight in a dock, I mean, do they just got to...
Stuff like that, because there's other trucks sitting there, and they think, well, I'm holding him up and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I need to hurry up and hurry up.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, do it the way you need to do it. Don't worry about the truck sitting there waiting on you to get out of his way.
What do you think the future holds for you? Are you going to keep driving? You want to get back into owning your own truck?
Like I said, I own a limo company up in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
And I own a house in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I do this to go around to see stuff.
Okay.
You might as well make money to see the country than to pay out of your pocket to see the country.
Absolutely.
The vice of a truck driver nowadays, you make good money, but look out for your retirement.
Gotcha.
Do not think, oh, I'm making all this money and blowing it.
Gotcha.
Because you're going to go bankrupt.
Gotcha.
Even if you own a truck or if you're a company driver, either or, it don't matter.
So you're saying truck driving is a good gig, but you got to leverage and diversify and get some things going, be wise.
Exactly. Look out for your future.
Okay, so there's some younger guys and ladies watching this. Hopefully they're going to say, that's some advice I want to follow.
That's what I recommend.
Is there anything cool and unusual about your family?
Me, because I own a limo company, when they were making all those movies up in Detroit, I got to spend a lot of time with entertainers.
Okay, like who?
For one, Eminem, Kid Rock.
All right.
I had both of their contracts for the limo company.
How about that?
I met the guy from the B2K group, rap group with P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I met those guys. I met Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Okay, they're big.
There's a couple actors like Billy Bob Thornton.
All right.
I met him. Mike Tyson. I met all of them guys, so.
That's cool. That's fun. I am a naturally curious person, but for some reason, when Terry talked about driving a limo for rock stars and hip-hop artists, I didn't ask any follow-up questions. Fortunately, I had his phone number, so I called him back later to ask my follow-ups, and he said driving celebrities around was interesting for a while, and he did get to meet some cool and unusual people, but it wasn't long before he wanted to get back in his rig and start seeing the countryside again. So there you go. These are important conversations. I want to keep learning as a truck driver myself, and we all want traffic to flow better. Yeah, it's true. A lot of car drivers are distracted, they are rude, they're unskilled. I'm going to keep making videos to see if we can help our four-wheeler friends. But for us truck drivers, let's learn from the veteran truck drivers while they're still with us. Thanks to Alvin and to Terry and to all the well-trained, courteous, truly professional drivers out there. You've got decades invested in our industry. We thank you for your commitment. I'm Rob Biagi for Actual Truckers. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, again, this episode is all about trying to get people to go from being a steering wheel holder to being a professional driver. Yes. So, Terry, thank you so much for giving your opinion on that. Everybody seems to agree, and hopefully they'll take your advice about the future. Thanks, man, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Well, Alvin, thanks, man, so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
I want to give everybody a chance to see your dogs.
There's my little Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
There's my little Ollie. I raised him on a bottle.
On a what? Oh, you nursed him with
Yep.
a bottle? Wow.
And here's my bear.
Hi, Bear. That's great. Your bark is worse than your bite?